Today, we're taking a look at the LEGO Dream Set 71486 Castle Nocturnia. This set was released in 2024, and I believe it retired at the end of 2025. So it is retired, but you can still get it even on sale right now from Amazon. So if you're definitely still looking to get this set, it's still available out there. And cheaper than it was when it was at retail. This set comes with 1,742 pieces, which includes 6 minifigures and then several of the Dreamlings. We have Mateo, who is exclusive to this set, Mrs. Castillo, who is also exclusive to this set, and everyone else can be found in other sets, but it comes with a Mateo, an Izzy, and I believe her name is Dizzy, and then the Never Witch. And then we have the Raven, Snitch, I believe, a Red Panda, and then 3 different Dreamlings. And then it also comes with a Dreamling Root as well. But we have the Dreamling Knight, the Dreamling Wizard, and the Dreamling Bath. And then it also comes with a buildable character. His name's Phil. He's a Manticore. He's the guardian of Castle Nocturnia, and he's actually really cool and one of my favorite parts of this build. Before we jump into taking a closer look at the minifigs in the set, don't forget that the best way to support my channel is by liking and subscribing, and be sure to share this video with other LEGO fans. First up, we have Mateo, and so he's one of the 2 exclusive minifigs to this set, and he's got tons of detail on his clothes. The printing is just phenomenal for this fig. You took the armor off, you'd see he has back printing. He's got dual molded legs, printing on his chest, side of his legs even. He's got the crayons, which he's kind of known for coloring and drawing. The only thing is he's just got plain white arms, so no arm printing there, but can't have everything, right? You got Z-Blob on his sword here with the cool trans green blade. And he comes with a hourglass. I wish there was a better way. I wish they could actually hold the hourglass from the side, but it doesn't work with their hands, sadly. So they have to hold it at the bottom. If I can get that to focus up a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Well, he's a really cool fig. I'm glad they kind of like printed his, I don't even know what you call it, sweater vest, life preserver jacket thing, instead of actually having it on him like they do in several other iterations of this fig. So next up we have Mateo, who is the everything bad and evil in Mateo manifested by the Never Witch. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, instead of including this piece, this like gray puffer vest thing, they just kind of printed it on him. Why they didn't do that for this fig, I'm not real sure, because the printing is pretty spot on. I'll bring him out here to kind of show. Oops. There went the hourglass. But like their shirts match pretty well. Their pants, like the leg printing, it matches up great. Why they decided to include this on him and not him with the armor instead, I'm not real sure. Then you have the Doom Blob versus Z Blob, so that's pretty cool. But this fig, like, he comes in lots of multiple sets. It would have been nice to see more exclusive sets, especially at this price point, which I'll talk about later. Got some good printing, minus the arm printing. And then I didn't show this on Mateo, but they do have dual printed faces. I can show his real fast just so you can see that as well. Usually one's angry and one's smiling for these figs, for the Dreams figs anyways. But yeah, that's Mateo and Mateo. So next up we have Izzy, and this is probably one of my favorite iterations of this minifig. The printing on this one is amazing. I'm assuming she's supposed to be sleeveless, but the printing on the chest and the legs, the side of the legs, like it's just amazing. The sword is great. Her like purpley blue pink translucent hair is also amazing. And she comes with this little colorful capelet thing, and she does have a little bit of printing on the back there. You can kind of see without me taking it off. And she also comes with 2 heads. Hers are both smiley. If you've ever seen the show, she's kind of a smiley, bubbly person, which makes her character pretty interesting. But I really love the weapon, her hourglass with the blue translucent blade and then the blue translucent gem on the bottom. Just really amazing, which contrasts with Dizzy, her evil doppelganger. And she comes with some pretty cool armor, and it's kind of like that black, purple, translucent. Her hair is more on the black, but it's still got that purple translucent worked in, which is really cool. And also the printing on her is just amazing, and it matches up pretty good again with Izzy. A little bit different on these two, not quite as spot on as Mateo and Mateo, but still pretty good. And then she comes instead of with a little cape, this little cloth skirt piece, which is pretty nice. And then I'll show you her other face as well. I like how they have like the 2 different eye colors. I don't know if you noticed that with Mateo, since Mateo already has 2 different eye colors, but I believe all of the evil doppelgangers have different colored eyes. And then her little weapon kind of got this claw with the pink translucent gem on the bottom. Pretty cool. I really like the Dizzy figures. I think they did a really good job on these ones. Now to the Never Witch. I believe she's probably the same in nearly all of her iterations, maybe. But there's her 2 faces, and she does have quite a bit of printing on her legs and torso. Again, no arm printing, but printing on the back as well. She's got a pretty long staff, which helps balance it, because this is not always the most stable, especially on like the floor or table or whatever you want to put it on. It's not Lego. It doesn't stand up great, but it has quite a bit of detail on it. Kind of gives her that smoky, floating appearance. I wish there was a way to actually attach like her torso in there. I guess I've never actually tried it, but I don't think it'll fit. Kinda. You could kind of do it. I think that would be better. I guess you could always add like a 1x2 brick and put it in there. Maybe it wouldn't look too bad. Maybe, but it kind of makes her balance funny, and it just really stands up. I know that's kind of how it looks in the show. Personal preference. I would like it better if it was not so low on her legs, like mid-leg. But yeah, she's a pretty cool fig. Not the best one out of the bunch. Having these little translucent black smoky pieces is pretty nice, especially if you wanted to use them in like other mocks and stuff. It would be pretty cool. Here we have Mrs. Castillo, the other exclusive minifig in this set, and she's a pretty interesting character. Drives the food truck and everything. I won't spoil too much there, but her body's all one piece, so it's kind of like a dress skirt thing. And then she's got her backpack with accessories and stuff on it, and her hourglass staff with the purple translucent gem. And then her arms are kind of funny. They're not regular minifig arms. They kind of poke out more. My kids don't like that. They think she should have had regular arms, but I think it works with her character size. Because if they were just straight, it might kind of look funny, especially with the backpack piece also, which is pretty hefty. But pretty cool fig. I'm glad I have her. And I don't remember if she has... Oh, she does have 2 faces. So yeah, there's her other face, kind of a squinty, smiley. And that's the kind of character she is too. She's like a bubbly old lady who makes food carts, or has a food cart and serves the kids burritos and stuff. Pretty fun. Pretty funny character. Okay, so here we have I'm going to call the bad guys accessories people. So there's a raven. Comes with a lot of sets that include the Never Witch, or even not the Never Witch, but they're very prominent in the 2nd season of Dreams as they steal people's memories and stuff like that. They're pretty plain, nothing to write home about too much. The purple translucent is nice, but overall not a lot of detail. It'd been nice if they could have at least put like some eye detail or something like that to give it just a little more pop. And to clarify, this is Sneak. I think I said Snitch or Snivel earlier, but his name is Sneak. And so he only has the one printed face. These are pretty cool. I really like these guys. I think they're funny. They have a lot of interactions more with the Night Hunter than the Neverwitch. Overall, he's a pretty neat character, pretty neat fig. I like his like little body. Makes sure you could do some pretty cool things with that, I think. Up we have the little red panda. It also comes with the red panda set that they have for the Dreams theme. Just kind of a little cute little red panda. Not much else to say about that. And lastly, we have the Dreamlings. So we have the Wizard Dreamling, who comes like with a beard and a hat and a magnifying glass. Not sure why the magnifying glass. Not sure how that's wizardy. It would have been better if I have a wand, I guess. But the Dreamlings are kind of all the same. These just happen to come with different accessories. So we have the wizard one, and then we have the bath one, which will make a little more sense, kind of, once we get into the set, which is, I think this is just a funny one. And then we have the night one. The helmet's cool, sword, and then to get the little helmet feather is better than the Dreamling, but it's still kind of interesting characters to have. And then the Dreamling Root, so it's a little bit different than the rest of them. It has the oversized head, different color than the normal Dreamlings. Kind of funny, but again, the Dreamlings aren't anything overly special, just kind of some filler things, I think. They're in the show, but they don't really do a lot, so I'm not sure why they included so many of these in sets, really, but it's kind of whatever. So before I get into the main build, I figured I'd talk about Phil the Manticore. He's a pretty neat build. His body isn't all that great, but the wings with these feathered, he's supposed to be his feathers, I guess. So these are all stickers on all of these, but super cool pieces. The translucent light blue and translucent orange. Just love those pieces. His face is okay. It just would have been nice if it was a little more full, if that makes sense. He looks like he's been starving. So a little beefier build would have been nice. The wings do move however you want to pose them for the most part. You can't go too far back, but they move up and down pretty well, a little bit forward and back. And then his head moves around because it's on that ball joint there. And then like these kind of move a little bit on the side of his head right here. And his legs are posable, like you can move his feet and his legs. But I mean, he's a pretty cool build. I think I would have liked more stuff on the actual castle than maybe including him. I think he'd be really cool if they did like a standalone build of like just him, where it was a much beefier. I don't know if you've seen the new Creator 3-in-1 that's either out or coming out, where it's the lion. Like if they did like a version of like that, but with Phil the Manticore, I think that would be fire for sure. I think you'd get lots of really cool detail that you're not getting here because it's just kind of a secondary build to accompany it, to add a little more value, I think, probably, to the overall set. But, I mean, he's got lots of interesting pieces and stuff, so it's kind of worth it. And especially if you're a Phil the Manticore fan, then you might really like this part. So you're going to have to kind of bear with me going over the set because it's really big, and to get close enough to see it, the details on it, is just, I kind of have to be zoomed in a little bit here. I'll try to talk about each of the 3 different sections and kind of this middle section that kind of binds them together. I love this set. There's so much detail, so much fun things about it that I'm probably going to forget some of it, but I'm going to try to hit like the highlights. So per the LEGO website, they kind of break it up into 3 different parts. There's the castle, so this is this part I'll talk about first, and then there's the tower and the forest. So it has like this super cool, which was a little pain to kind of build, but like a cool hourglass feature. It'd be really cool like if you could get it like when you turned it, because it rotates. If the sand would actually like fall, I think that would have been like super cool, but they didn't do it that way, probably because they don't have pieces for that. There's just so much detail on this castle piece. I'm going to try to show most of it. So it has a super cool, let me lower this a little bit. stained glass window, because that's kind of the only thing at the top there is that hourglass. So it has a super cool stained glass window. Amazing. My stickering job, not the best, so no need to comment on that. But it's just so cool looking. And then we kind of rotate it around here, and you have a library. So, and it actually, I don't know if I can, it swings open there and has like a gem and a cup. Really cool, like a hidden little treasure there. And then you have like this little bridge that goes down to the forest area. And then on this side, I'll kind of bring it back this way and lower this a little bit here so we can see more. These cool vines, plants going up the side of it, looking really good. The shield right here, sticker as well. But one of my favorite parts, and I don't have to lower it just a little bit more, and I'll scoot this up here, is this waterfall. And in the pictures and stuff that you see, that's where like the bath dreamling is. Apparently he's taking a bath in this fountain. I love the waterfall. And then I'll kind of swing this around so you can kind of see the other side of it. But it's got some frogs. Maybe I'll just kind of lift this up if I can. Yeah, I got some frogs, lily pads, just lots of cool details. And then my other, this might actually be my favorite room in the whole building. And I didn't realize what I was building at first, that is a sink and a toilet. And it even comes with a little roll of toilet paper. I just think that's a really fun little feature that they added. I think it's funny. You'll have to let me know what you think about that in the comments or if you've seen that kind of stuff before. And then we can drop down a little bit lower here and get some more of this. So there's like a throne type chair, another little kind of decorative feature, and then you get like the stairs and then the back of the waterfall there. All pretty cool stuff if you ask me. This is probably my favorite section of the three, but the other two are really cool as well. Okay, so next we're gonna move to the forest, but first we're gonna stop here and take a little look at this other little feature right here. It's like a little trap door, if I can get my big old hand. Oh, let me just set this down real fast. And it's supposed to be, I guess, a continuation of like the waterfall. You can see kind of up in there, there's like a little frog, and it's just kind of got more of the water stuff going on. I'm not really sure why they included that. It's pretty neat, but as like a little hideaway, I guess. But it doesn't really add much to the overall set. Okay, so now I'm gonna rotate it and then get the front of the forest build here, and I'll probably lose some of these window pieces from the tower, but I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Let me raise this up so we can get a better look there. Okay, and so this is the front of the forest portion of the build. There's not a whole lot going on with this iteration. I think maybe the other one might have a little bit more. So it kind of has like this, I'm assuming this is supposed to be more water type feature. It's a little bit different of a blue, but than the other water features. But other than that, like you just have the tree. I'll try to get a little bit closer here and then it has like the memory cases in there, nail or printed tiles. They're pretty neat. But other than that, like you just have kind of the tree pieces, and then I can show you the other sides of this as well. Yeah, oops. About knocked the top of the castle off. It has this underground area, which is pretty neat. It's probably like my little favorite part of the forest portion, because you got kind of like the root systems coming down, and then you also have like this little mushroom growing in there. It would have made more sense maybe if they had included a little bit more water type stuff in there, but it's still a pretty cool, neat little room on the build. And then here's like the backside of the tree that you can see. Like again, nothing overly special. Just kind of that kind of bright blue tree just kind of really pops and stands out, which is really nice. And then for the last portion of the build, I'll kind of rotate it around again, is the tower. And I really do like the tower quite a bit. You got this really neat stairway kind of joining the forest to the tower. So you have this really neat banner. I think it just looks really good. It's a sticker. And then you have the stud shooter here. It's got 2 stud shooters. Cool little roof tile. I really like how they designed that. Like I think it looks really good. I've seen other mock makers use similar stuff. I think it just really stands out really well. And then these windows here have been giving me so much trouble. Those little grates, they fall out all the time. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing or if that's just kind of like a known problem, but they fall out all the time. And I feel like the best part of this build is definitely this outside area. The inside doesn't have a whole lot of detail versus like the castle, which is kind of why like the castle is probably like my favorite part of the build. You have the barrel here, and that's about the amount of detail you get on the inside. One of the cool things about this set also, and I didn't kind of point these out earlier, is these, I'm gonna call them lamps. They're kind of all over, but they're just the 1x1 round bricks with a gold 1x1 round tile, or not tile, plate. They look really cool, and I think like if you were to like put this into Photoshop and make all those glow and stuff, like you could get some really cool effects from them. Best part of this is definitely like this, like this little outside area. Looks very fortress-like with all the mason bricks that they used for it. And you can still take some pretty cool pictures probably on the inside here. They kind of have like these other little stone like looking bricks to make it kind of look like a pathway a little bit better. Definitely my overall favorite has got to be the castle portion, and I just think it just looks really good. The great thing about the Dream sets is that these 3 sections, so there's like this main section here in the middle, and then you can actually choose kind of your own path here. Each one of these sections has instructions to change them. And so in that way, they're very much like the Creator 3-in-1 sets, although this one only has like 2 options. Some of them have 3, some of them have 2. But that's like the great thing about the Dreams sets. And I'm a huge Dreams fan. I love this theme. I just think it kind of embodies the central core of LEGO in that it's all about creativity. That's what the show is kind of all about, is creativity. And so I just feel like you get these with these sets more than like other themes like Star Wars or Marvel, which the same starships, same buildings over and over and over, with just some minor changes. This is an original theme from LEGO, and so I just feel like it doesn't get the love it deserves. Everyone's sleeping on it. So hopefully we just keep getting more awesome sets. I love the LEGO Dreams theme. It would really mean a lot to me if you go ahead and help support my channel by liking and subscribing. It just really helps me out. So I'm gonna try to like keep making videos. I'm changing the format of how I'm filming. It's all unscripted now, kind of off the cuff, how I'm feeling about the set. So hopefully you like that a lot more. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you kind of like this feel and this pacing a lot better. Also let me know in the comments, what do you think about LEGO Dreams in general? Are you a fan, not a fan? You picking this setup, not picking this setup? Because it retails, before it was retired, it was $199.99, so like $200. Right now you can get it from Amazon for, I believe, $140. If not that, it's close to that. So even if you don't like the LEGO Dreams theme, this set has tons of mock potential. So just pick it up for that, and especially on sale at $140. It's a great deal. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Are you picking it up, not picking it up? Hate Dreams, love Dreams. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and tune in next week. That's the plan. I'm gonna try to get back on the 1 video a week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.